Good evening, everybody. My name is Kevin Starkey, the Managing Director and owner of Darkwood Studio Record Label Service, First Nations Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander record label service in Australia. Today, I would like to pay my respects and acknowledge the traditional owners of the country in which we're performing and recording on today, which are the Gubbi Gubbi and Kabi Kabi language groups. I would like to take this moment to pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and future. I would also like to take this time to pay my respects to the off-country elders, past, present and future, and emerging families that have been brought to this country and now live and exist within this country. I'd like to take this moment to thank everybody for respecting the culture of the Gubbi Gubbi Kabi Kabi language groups. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Andrea, the Creative Director of Turn Up Music Industry Conference, and I'm here with Cindy Vogels, and we're going to talk all things image and artists today. Welcome, Cindy.
Thank you so much, Andrea. It's fun to be here.
Thank you. So, Cindy, tell me a little bit about your business, Racy Lucky, and the services that you provide to artists.
So, Racy Lucky is absolutely based off the model that I learnt and created when I worked for Lady Gaga in 2014, and I basically took every single element of what happened in that month, in those months that I was working with Lady Gaga and her team in New York. And I just thought, oh my God, this information is so valuable, like what I've just experienced and learned. And I want to share this with emerging artists, and I definitely want to keep developing and really honing in on the practice of working for music artists. I had worked in fashion my whole life, and to be honest, it just never really clicked for me. I could never find my place in fashion, but I've found my way with fashion in music. And so Racy and Lucky is all about making music artists as visible and dynamic as possible, and drawing out their own visions for how they want the world and their audiences to see them.
Great. So are there a couple of key things that you learnt on that Gaga experience that you can share with the audience?
I think I loved the concept of working on directions. So it's where you start with a particular direction, and then there's just heaps and heaps of communication backwards and forwards to develop the direction to be more personalized and unique for the particular artist. So I guess in a nutshell, it's like when an artist presents me with an image that they see that they love, and it might be an editorial image from Vogue, or it might be a runway image, or it might be another band, you know, that they admire. And then it's about sitting down with the artist and saying, well, what is it about that you actually love? Is it the neckline? Is it the sleeves? Is it the color? Is it the way the light is hitting it? Is it the hemline? So it's about extrapolating out of the artist why the direction appeals to them, and then developing the idea further so that we're not duplicating anything that already exists in the world. We're actually creating an original outcome that the artist has driven with my assistance.
Great, excellent. How would a young emerging artist start to develop their own image, brand and style?
I think the best way, I always just say, go onto Pinterest and create a secret board and just start, you know, pushing things that I always say, if you see something, an image, a fashion image, or an art image, or a design image that makes your heart race, then, you know, that's what we're aiming for, because we want to make, as artists, and particularly music artists, you want to make your audience's heart race. So you have to connect with that. There has to be something about it that absolutely lifts you up, and that, pursue that and hone that. But it's also about being comfortable in that as well. Like, there's a fine line between, I guess, searching for like a new brand and only doing that when you're on stage. Like, it really has to be you on a journey to find your own personal style, and then how you integrate that into your everyday, and then how you integrate it into film clips and performances. And there's a real art to it, and it's not something that happens overnight, but it's definitely worth pursuing.
Great, excellent. So how could a young artist start that process off but on a budget?
So most of us have a friend who loves to go shopping. Most of us have friends that know where all the best op shops are. We all know someone who loves, to dress up. So it really is, when you're young and, your networks are probably, more based around friendships, it's about tapping into your friends that already have those skills or already enjoy doing those things. So, offer to take a friend for lunch if they'll take you op shopping to their favorite op shops, or if you have a friend that you think is particularly stylish, offer to take them for lunch and see if they can help you, and set a budget, and start investing in pieces that might not be overly expensive, but will have longevity and, ongoing value to your brand building.
So how important, Cindy, is consistency to an artist's brand?
I think it's extremely important. It's how we present ourselves to the world and to our audiences. And it can be your everyday, especially if you're like on Instagram and you're, maybe really, really active, and it's like all through the day and all through the night. But if your feed was particularly just your performances, and then maybe like just single shoots, or very media based presentation, then you could definitely just curate all of your wardrobe purely for your performances and your shoots. And I mean, I'm thinking of a particular artist that I've worked with who literally chose one color, and all through the day and whatever she was doing, she wore whatever she wanted. But when she stepped on a stage, she wore a particular color, and it was an extremely successful branding exercise, and it looked beautiful in her feed.
Yep, excellent. That's a great tip. And that's really important for both the social media and recognition.
Yeah,
for
and
an artist.
then you look at someone like Jaguar Jones. For every film clip, she chooses a color, and then all of her branding for that release is all, very, very strong in that particular color. So her songs almost have a color. And that is also a beautiful color. Color is such an important way to present and project and to express.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Great. So, Cindy, you have a really strong personal style of your own. So, can you tell us a little bit about your style?
I actually just feel really comfortable when I dress really, like, for me, like I don't dress to trends anymore. I really just I get excited about an idea, and then that's just how I dress. And like at the moment, I'm crazy about colored safety pins in my ears. I actually need to go and get more holes put in, because I just want like 30 of them in each ear. I've always been a ponytail girl, and I don't think I'll ever change. So that's something that I don't have to worry about. Mismatched shoes is definitely like one of my favorite things. I literally would cry if I had to wear two shoes the same color. So and I wear too much leopard print, and I'm openly out about that. So
There's never too much leopard print.
yeah. So I don't know, but I'm also I've just had to shut myself off from tartan. I had a massive run of tartan through winter and spring, but it's just too hot now to do tartan. So I've had to say, that's it, no more tartan. So I can't wait for winter.
Right. Tell us about creating costumes for different scenarios. So, for example, a stage outfit, photo shoot, or red carpet event.
Absolutely, they're all completely different. For red carpet, it's absolutely all about impact and it being how it photographs, and Yeah, so and even how it reacts with a red carpet. Like I always think about that. I always think what colors are going to look amazing on a red carpet. And then for photo shoots, generally the artist will already have a pitch in mind. And if they don't, their manager will. And if they don't, the producer or the cameraman will. That's a very kind of very grey space, like depending on who I'm working with. And I always take my direction from somewhere. I never, ever, ever impart my own style or ideas onto my artists that I work with. It's always about that extrapolation, like taking the information from them. And even the shyest artists who think that they don't have style or don't really know what they're doing, if you ask the right questions, I can always get something from them. And sometimes it's just their favorite color, and sometimes I even just say to them, like, what's the favorite dress that you have in your wardrobe? And they might go, oh, I've got this dress and I just love it so much. I don't even know why I love it, I just love it. And so we start with that dress because there'll be something about that dress that they love. And sometimes that can be the starting point because it might be just the way it fits them. It might be the color. It might be how the fabric feels. So there's always a starting point, and it's really just about delving in. And then for film clips and photo shoots are kind of similar because at the end of the day, you're creating content, and so it's that same process.
Yep. And what about stage outfits? Does there have to be an element of, being able to move in the outfit?
Yeah, stage outfits are completely different again. So yeah, I would categorize red carpet in one category, photography and film clips in another category, and then stage outfits are completely different again. Yeah, they must be comfortable. They must be able to breathe. They must... Another thing that I always start with for stage performance is what shoes are you going to wear? Because for musicians, it's extremely important that they have a safe shoe to begin with. So I'll always say, look, are you performing in Docs? Are you doing an ankle boot? Because if I have that first, then I know, it's not about me creating something and then them going to have to find a shoe that matches it. It just fits so much better to say, what shoe are you wearing? And, there are plenty of music artists who will only perform in Doc Martens. Am I right, Eloise? Yes. And it's a really safe move, and and they look fantastic. And there's not much that I can't match to a pair of Docs.
Yep. Tell us about your inspiration for the costumes you created for us at Turn Up.
Well, I started firstly with the branding. And so because the logo was red, white and black, I was super excited about working just with those colours. And then I think you sent me through a bunch of inspired images that were very mod. And I was really excited because I've actually never made a collection that is mod inspired, even though I absolutely love that era in fashion. And so then it was just about sourcing, the right fabric that was really authentic, and that's actually a retro print. It's an authentic retro print.
Wow.
And yeah, I think it just all came together, and I actually remember this one particularly, and the one I think that I made for Eloise. Actually, I can't even remember whose is whose now, but there was definitely lots of inspiration that came through in the images that you sent me, and the little A-line dresses. And I think I'm actually going to build that collection bigger because you guys rock it so hard, and I love seeing it, and I love how it works into your branding, and you've got your new logo. So it suits you all. You all look really cool in it. I'm very proud of it.
And I would have to say that they're so versatile because you can match and change them with different shoes. Today I'm wearing tight pants with mine. I've worn stockings before, different shirts. Yeah, so the A-line dress rocks.
But let's get some new ones happening. We'll just inject a few new pieces in there.
Yep.
Yeah, and one day we can send them all down the runway. It'll be the Turn Up collection.
Yeah. So, Cindy, it'd be really great for the audience to find out some of the clients you've worked with so they can go and check them out on Instagram or Facebook.
Sure. So most recently, I've done a fair bit of work for Jaguar Jones, and so definitely the last 5 film clips for Dina. That's all my work, and I'm hugely proud of it. And I've also dressed her for the last couple of shows at the Tivoli. The new pleated skirts that she's wearing are super fun, and I actually caught up with Emily Waramara at Jaguar Jones's show. So Emily, if you're watching or if you ever see this, call me because I'd love to dress you again. Actually, one of my favourite red carpet moments was dressing Emily for the Queensland Music Awards 2 years ago, where she won.
Yep, and that was that Indigenous print.
No, she wore the Indigenous flag dress to Woodford soon after, but I made her a 2-piece gown, and it was like a white satin with black fern prints all over it, and it's one of my favourite red carpet gowns that I've ever made. She looked absolutely stunning in it.
Yep, and you've worked with Regurgitator.
Yeah, Regurgitator. I've just come from a shoot with Darren Hanlon. Do you guys know Darren? He's so lovely, and his wife Shelley, and their baby Rocky. I styled like the coolest shoot for them for a latest single that's coming out, which was really exciting because I've only ever dressed males inside the Regurgitator tour. So it was my first time dressing another male out since then. Who else? Kirsty Lee Akers. Yeah. She's my favourite country music artist that I dress. And I've been dressing her for years, and we just keep having some incredible wins. And it's kind of to the point with Kirsty where she literally just gives me a colour and I know exactly, what style she needs, and it's very, the longer I work with someone, definitely the easier it gets and the better the outcomes. So yeah.
Excellent. So Cindy, one of the clients that you've worked with recently is Ashley Powell, who showcased for Turn Up. Tell us about that experience.
So Ashley is someone that I became aware of when she first won the Woodford Talent Search, and she only just graduated from high school, so very, very much, at the beginning of her career, like extremely talented, but definitely in that emerging space. And I just felt that she was a great match for us to help with the development of her career from a visual and styling perspective. And Ashley's just extremely grateful. So we've done 3 projects so far. We dressed her for the Turn Up performance at Soul Bar, and I dressed her in red because Soul Bar, is sort of synonymous with a red themed stage. And I remember when I first put Ashley's outfit on her backstage, and she was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm so excited. This is my favorite outfit ever. And, she was really, really lifted up, and we did a little shoot backstage. And then, I think it changed. She said it definitely added to how she felt on stage. So the second time I dressed Ashley was for her performance at Nelson Reserve. She opened for Mazaza, the French Balkan amazing band that have just toured through Queensland. And I dressed her in, I think we're going to show the photo. It was like a fusion of lots of amazing tartans that I had been saving. I've been saving offcuts of tartan for years, probably decades actually. No, not decades because I'm not that old. But yeah, and I remember when she put it on, she was just like, oh my God, I've never worn anything like this. And I've seen Ashley in it a couple of times since. Like, she definitely is extremely happy, and it suits her, and it looks cute with docs, and I really hope that she wears it like many times, because there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's sustainable. It's a great way to have people remember you. It's a great way for your Instagram and your content visuals to all match up. And I mean, I know an artist, an amazing artist who wore different versions of a performance outfit for more than 20 shows that was part of one tour. And, you know, that clothing became iconic for that tour. So it's actually, you know, it's the opposite of fast fashion. It's about really being thoughtful about what you're going to wear and then being consistent. And I think it's a really cool exercise.
Yep. So the message is there. There's nothing wrong with wearing the same outfit more than once.
No, not at all. But it's also really cool. I like the idea, and I encourage the idea of curating a wardrobe. Like, you know, if you could get to a point where you had, you know, 4 to 10 really strong performance outfits that you were, you know, looking after and cycling through for your performances, that would be the ultimate goal, like as far as, you know, being, you know, kind of thinking of yourself like a stage performer. And it's why people like Dolly Parton and Elvis, you know, there are exhibitions of their clothes that tour the world that people go to see.
Yep.
You know, that's how much beautiful emphasis and appreciation people feel for those costumes. And, you know, our artists today can aspire to that.
Excellent.
It's a
That's a great
goal.
tip. So tell us about the third outfit for Ashley.
It's actually her formal outfit, but we're going to actually crop the beautiful train at the back, and we're going to make it more stage appropriate so that she can wear it with docs and rock out in it. So yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Great. So guys, you could check all those artists out and have a look at Cindy's work. So Cindy, any last tips for young emerging artists?
I think just explore and research, you know, like I said, go onto Pinterest, put in, you know, some good search words, watch what other artists are doing and try to think about what it is about their style that you like. We never want to copy anyone, but there's also nothing wrong with being inspired by others and then kind of developing your own idea from that. So don't be afraid to experiment. When you're young, there's no such thing as getting it wrong. Like, it's all just experimentation. So yeah, just go for it.
Excellent.
Because it's important to stand out.
Great. Excellent. So this was a great little insight from Cindy. Hope that it's helped you out there in the audience. Thank you so much, Cindy, for coming along today.
Thank you,
giving us
Andrea.
your insights.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much to Peace Run Records, to Sunshine Coast Creative Alliance, to Councillor David Law, to Racy and Lucky, Soul Bar, all our wonderful organisations and the people that are sending great support messages to our community, to Justin Shepherd for his wonderful filming, and to Donna Nelson for being a runner and helping us out so much today. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you to our speakers, Andrea Kerwin of Peace Run Records, Andy Ward of University of the Sunshine Coast, Cindy Vogels of Racy and Lucky, Eric Kanji, Justin Shepherd of Shepherd Red Productions, and Zabrishan. Turn Up would also like to thank Smart Grants, Q Music and the Queensland Government, Sunshine Coast Creative Alliance, Sunshine Coast Council, Soul Bar, Shepherd Red Productions, Peace Run Records, Racy and Lucky. Thank you for all your help in this project and your ongoing assistance to Turn Up. Thanks also go to Creative Alliance Australia, Live Music Office, and Q Music for helping to promote these videos.